Hey guys. Hi, I'm so happy that you're here today. Um, I had some time, so I thought I'd pop in here and leave a message. So I have been thinking a lot about all the different modalities. So I guess we'll be talking about modalities in healing today. And try to get into, I guess, understanding a little bit of how each modality might be able to help, help you on your journey, depending on what you're choosing. I personally have been doing I haven't really seriously been using any modalities, and I am just, I guess, trying to take bits and pieces of everything to see what resonates with me, and then I'm applying it, and whatever resonates, I guess I'll stick with it. So, basically I started really meditating in 2018. I never before 2018 I couldn't I just never could really focus in on meditating, and just really found it very difficult. And then I guess closer to the end of 2018, I had I had a lot of stress in my life, so I started practicing meditating. And I did it for I guess maybe like 6 months in 2018, 2019, starting of 2019. And then I continued to do it, not on a regular basis, to be honest. I just, did it as I would need time for myself. I'd relax and just, meditate, sometimes before bed, sometimes after a stressful day or event in my life. And I guess the earlier part of 2021, I just found myself going into a lot of I don't know, quiet time for no reason. I couldn't understand. I don't know really what happened. I just found myself getting more and more quiet, and I took a lot of time to myself. I spent a lot of time just being there. Didn't do anything in particular. I think what triggered it was back in 2020, where I'm from originally, the country had an election. So I was following the election. It was quite traumatic. It was very stressful, and I was having a lot of dreams of my dad who passed away, and I couldn't figure out what the message was. And then my dad was a politician before he passed away, and he was very passionate about, elections. So I guess in 2020, when all the events were happening with the elections in that country, and then me having all the dreams about my dad, it just kind of confused me a little bit, and I didn't know what I was feeling, and I didn't understand like the dreams that I was having of him. I was having dreams of my dad like every time I would fall asleep. It didn't matter if I fell asleep for about a 10 minutes nap, I would still have a dream of him, and it kind of like didn't make sense to me. And I was trying to find the answers. I couldn't, obviously. I still don't. I have no idea what that means, or what it meant. But I guess in 2021, early in the year, I became even more still, and I just found myself being more quiet, and I I don't know. It just, I, I, I guess I'm still trying to figure out what really, I was feeling then. I don't know, to be quite honest. I didn't have any sadness. I wasn't feeling any great excitement. I wasn't upset. I wasn't depressed. I was just there. And it wasn't troublesome to me at all. I just felt like I was in a place of peace, and I don't I don't know exactly how it might have affected other people in my life. I didn't think that I was being harmful to anybody by me being by myself and just, relaxing. For the first time in my life, I think that I was actually really calm and just being me. I know I've always been that way, and it just, in my mind, I've always been that way. Sometimes in my life, in the outer physical life, it probably didn't look like you know, that's what I was or who I am. But truly in my mind, I thought I've always felt myself being this quiet person. I always had this great debate about myself, and that special time of the month where most people just go chaotic, and well, females in particular, not the males, but I think the males get affected too if you have a partner in your life, and you might resonate with what I'm saying, whoever's listening. I just always found myself a little panicky before that special time. I would tend to want to do my groceries, laundry, cleaning the house, getting everything all tidy. I call it the nesting. It's like when you're pregnant and, you're coming closer to the baby arriving, you start nesting. I just knew that whenever I had that special time of the month, I just wanted to be, laying down, quiet. It always felt good just to be still, and it's just one of the times of the month that us females, I guess I took it as a gift where I'm able to just go back to myself and just enjoy just being. And I don't know. Anyways, I'm rambling on about stuff. Yeah, so back to the meditating and, trying to figure out myself and, just being in peace, even when, things would pop up in my life and, my, significant other and we would have our disagreements. And I specifically remember saying that, I know he would be upset at me or we're disagreeing on something, or, he would ask me things or whatever the situation was. And I wouldn't be very responsive, or, we were very passionate about our discussions and I guess times in our lives. And it was what we were. We were always very passionate. It didn't mean that I'm not passionate about him or us, or, I just didn't have that fire anymore to argue and just get into like deep debates. So I would often find myself when we were like in disagreement saying to him, why are you trying to disturb my peace? And I couldn't understand what I was trying to say. I know I heard myself say it in many situations. I just really, really didn't even know that side of me. And that was something new to me as well. I didn't have that side of me grounded. I guess I was just, I don't even know how to explain it. Honestly, I really don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what this is and what it is. It makes me emotional. Like, I've always had this way about me that I can talk about myself, and I spoke with so much enthusiasm and excitement and confidence. Not saying that I don't have the confidence anymore. I do have a lot of confidence. I truly do believe in myself, and I've always I know who I am inside. I do. I just don't feel like I have any capacity to have to explain this, who I am, to anybody anymore. I've spent a lot of my time or I spent a lot of my life trying to get others to see what I am and to accept me, or maybe I just portrayed a part of me that I'm not. Like, this, put on this mask for everybody to see, and maybe that's not really who I was, because I know deep down inside that I am. I crave quiet and I crave peace too, and I still have desires and passions, and I like adventures, and I like exciting things. I like singing, I like dancing, I like getting together with my friends and family and decorating and cooking and buying gifts for people, and having a little party at home with everybody together, my kids and my family, everybody included. Just always wanting to have this big family, and having the big family, but never able to pull that together. I just found myself again, like being by myself again, and it's just all new, getting used to this again. It's a little sad, but I guess I'm getting to really ground this side of me that I perhaps was fighting all along, and I'm probably teaching myself now how to be this self. And that's where my meditation has helped me. And I talk about meditation a lot because it's basically the only thing that keeps me grounded. Just to close my eyes and just go into absolute silence and just let everything, roll around and tumble around, do whatever it wants, and just watch it. Just let it be and just see what comes out of it. And the only thing that's coming out of it is more peace, and I don't have a desire to chase after anything like I used to. I just have this understanding that whatever is meant to be will be, and it will be. I've used a little bit of Reiki on myself for healing for the last couple of months, and maybe that's helped me to clear my energy. So that modality is something that's out there and available too, for people to use to help them to clear the chakras and all the different energy centers of the body, bringing things back into alignment. There's another one that I've used as well. It's called the Emotional Code. And basically what that does, it's similar to Reiki. However, that one is like mostly targeted to like our heart and our heart chakra, which is like where we develop like these great big walls and different parts of the body where we store all these traumas and energy, so we can have like shoulder, neck, back, stomach issues, and not just the chakra, but like serious areas of the body, like with injuries or tumors and different stuff like that. But majorly my heart I had found out that I had a consultation once, and I had found out that I had such a thick wall around my heart, and I had worked on that in 2019. I was able to, you know, study a little bit on that. I don't have any qualifications on practicing that, but I do understand it enough that I can do it on myself or my family if I wanted to. I haven't done it really for anybody else. I've talked about it, but I just, one of the things that I never found myself being able to do was, or is, really talking about any of this healing stuff. I do truly feel like I have the ability to help, and I never really did have much of the confidence to help anybody in terms of like trying to get them to open up to what I understand about healing. I didn't have that, I guess, the backbone to go after that. And I've just done this Reiki certification, and knowing like my just me in general and how I am, just wanting to always help others, and caring and being empathetic, where I can you know feel different things for people and understand where they're coming from. And I know there's probably a lot of people in my life who don't think that about me, but I am, and that's my truth. Nobody has to agree with that. I just know that that's true for me. I hold space for everybody now. I don't care where you come from or who you are and what you are. I just know that whatever your truth is, it is your truth. I don't want to judge anybody. I don't have an opinion anymore. It's strange for me to say, because I've held a lot of opinions because of my past pain and trauma, and the way people have projected onto me in my past, and it's caused me to hold judgment and resentment. I must say, because I'll call it resentment. I understand it as resentment now. So those are two of the modalities that I'm fully aware of. And those all come into play with, doing a lot of meditation, understanding energy and how it passes through. It comes through source from the universe, and we can use that energy from the universe to channel it through our bodies, and passing it through our healing hands, into helping others heal themselves. With the Reiki, I've found that me now learning how to properly channel Reiki, because I'll tell you a story, a funny story. During 2020, remember I just talked about that elections. When that was happening, I was so involved. It took me, I think it was almost oh my God, was it March into August that I followed that elections. And then I found myself one day in August waking up, and then I decided to do a meditation. And in my meditation, I seen myself sitting where I used to live in Guyana. I lived beside the ocean, so I found myself just sitting there. And as I was sitting, I seen my body start floating over the water, facing the city, but I just became larger and larger and larger, and there was like this ray of sunshine just pouring down on me, and I started like to project that light out into the city, and then I found myself like just really pour that over the entire country. I've never in my wildest dream ever seen myself do that before, and I just did that. And that very day that happened, and I don't mean to like take credit for anything here, but they announced the winner of the elections and the rightful winner. There was a lot of stuff going on with a lot of corruptions and the elections being rigged and stuff like that. Small stuff, we don't need to have all the details here and sweat the small stuff about that. But the main thing about what I'm trying to share is that that's when I understood that I have some kind of an ability to use my understanding of what I feel as an empathic person, to help to bring some kind of healing to others. And trust me, I am no saint when it comes to understanding this and how to do all this. I most certainly have shut myself out to a lot of people in my life and been stubborn just like everybody else. I've made my mistakes and I've closed myself off, and I think I'm becoming more aware of what my purpose is and some of these modalities that are available in terms of healing others. So I continue to just explore different things. I've come across tarot cards back in December 2018, and I've used that only for personal use and family and friends. But I've kind of like not been so focused on the tarot cards, only for my own personal use right now. But I was led to like look into Reiki and other like greater channeling of healing, and I've practiced it mostly on myself, and I think that's what's really ground me in a sense right now to go through some of the stuff that I'm going through. I call it an awakening or a return to my soul, like journey to the soul again. And who knows what's to come, maybe this is the way to, or for me to be able to help others in some way and provide some kind of a service to others. There's many different tags that people or persons are using, calling, there's like light workers and star seeds and all this. I don't know. I don't completely feel comfortable with putting a label on myself. So I just am me. I am. So I just go by me. Oh boy, it's quite a mouthful there. I don't know. Am I channeling? I don't know. There's like a lot, a lot coming out today. I'm not really stammering, so I'm kind of liking that. But at the same time, it's like I hope I'm making sense, and I hope some of this stuff that I'm talking about resonates with somebody. I have been thinking too since my last video that I posted that I'm not even gonna call these videos like something to resonate with. I'm just gonna put it out there. These are my journal. These are my personal journals. I used to journal a lot when I was younger, and I used to write a lot of poetry and do a lot of singing and stuff, but I haven't done that a lot. And I found that my throat chakra was very closed off, and I didn't express myself a lot, and that's when I used to use my writing. But I think I'm beginning to find my voice, and that's important because we all have a voice for a reason, and we should be able to express ourselves freely. I've always felt like in my past, I would always try to, talk about myself and share about me. And mostly focus on, you know, I guess my trauma and tell people about how painful things were in my life and how bad an experience was, or the abuse was this, or I went through this, and like this person did this to me or that. And it was a lot of focus on that. I don't find myself doing that a lot anymore. I think I've like maybe freed myself from some of that. Don't get me wrong, it does come up every now and then. I still need to keep doing the work. There's still a lot of stuff that every once in a while I'm sitting and, you know, I just drift off into a thought will just pop into my head, and, you know, something would make me really sad, or I'd remember something, and, you know, I still shed a tear, and I still hurt, or, you know, I still have regrets, and I still have all these feelings that are still coming up. I'm nowhere near perfect, so trying to just figure it all out. So I'm just gonna, from now on, call my little videos my little journaling. And I think that's what I really wanted it to be from the beginning when I created this page back in 2018, or this channel. And then, you know, now I finally have my website up for my Reiki healing, and, you know, created my website finally, which is something that I meant to do like for the past 3 years. I finally got all that done. So yeah, I think I am finding some sense of myself, even though, like, I don't know, it's still a bit blah, and I don't understand it yet. And it's been like that for me for a while. I'm not depressed. I really am not. I can laugh and I still find things funny, and I don't know what this is. And until I understand what this is, I'll keep searching, and I'll keep searching within. You know, I'll keep grounding the good things about me, and hopefully those are the things that are gonna grow into the new. And maybe this is how this journey goes. You go blah until you have that fireworks, you know, that sense of aha moment. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever comes. Not just whatever. I mean, I don't want it to be very challenging at all. Not that I'm afraid of a challenge, but I'm just hoping for the best. And, you know, opening my heart to welcome good things, and welcome forgiveness, and welcome letting go resentment. One of the things that I was thinking about a lot, and I wanted to write something about this, but I didn't really quite know how to put it in words, but I'm going to try to see if I can come up with something. I know I've come across a lot of difficulties in my life, and mostly surrounding a lot of, and I know it's kind of cliche to say this, but a lot of females in my life. I often tell myself that I'm not jealous. I'm not a jealous person. I'm not very competitive against other females. And I've had a lot of females admire me and my style, and, you know, whatever I have, I try to share, and, you know, I give tips on things that I do, and I have a unique style about myself, and I love that about me. And I used to feel like when, you know, females around me would, like, you know, start kind of like copying my style, I didn't really like that. And everyone around me used to tell me, especially like, you know, people closest to me, my person and whatever. I don't want to call anybody's name on here. Used to tell me that it's a form of flattery, and I guess I didn't see it that way, because sometimes I seen something different. But I thought about jealousy, because I used to think that or I would feel jealousy. I felt it. I felt something different. I didn't feel flattered, and I want to be true to what I feel, because every time I've allowed myself to ignore those feelings and go against it, that's when I've actually caused a lot of pain to myself. So what I felt was jealousy, and I thought a lot about that, and I especially thought about that this afternoon while I got off work, and I was on my way home, and I'm walking, and I was just thinking about jealousy shouldn't be used in such a way. I think we should take the same energy that we put into jealousy and use it as a way to manifest for ourselves. Like, for instance, like if you find yourself like desiring something that somebody has, and you feel like a sense of well, what is jealousy? I don't even know. Like a want of what someone else has. Maybe you could just like turn that around and just look at it as a way to turn it around for yourself and say, you know what, universe, that is what I want to feel. That is what I would like to experience in my life. What that person is showing or exhibiting, I don't want to feel like envious of it. I want to manifest that for myself. Please take that as an example and send that back to me, universe. But I don't know how to articulate that right now into proper words. But that's what I thought about, because instead of looking at somebody's life and feeling like a lack in your life, use that same energy and say to the universe, hey, universe, I recognize what I want, and that's what I want. Can we work on can I work on just channeling that particular energy into my life and creating that for myself? And I think that would be a positive. Instead of feeling jealousy and a lack of something, use it for your benefit. Don't look at their relationship and feel like, oh, like I want that they have. Look at it in an admiring eye and say, that is true love. This is a person who's exhibiting or showing an example of what true unconditional love looks like, and use that instead. I think that's important for the world to understand that we should start doing stuff like that more often. I think we don't often do that enough, and I have little dreams and like stuff from my childhood that it still comes through in my head. And I think, like, I don't look at other people's homes or stuff and things and what they have. I've created stuff based on what I see for myself, like what I envisioned for myself. And I find it really hard. That's especially really hard. Sorry, that didn't make sense what I just said. I found it especially hard when I did feel an energy of jealousy coming from somebody else, when they looked at me and then looked at themselves as a lack. They looked at me as having and looked at themselves as a lack. And I could feel it. I could see it in their body language. I could see the energy around them change based on being around me. So I want to say once again, I am not going to ignore that. And I know what I felt. And I'm not going to ignore that feeling. I'm going to trust that feeling and call a spade a spade. Not going to sugarcoat it and say, maybe that's not what it was. It was a form of flattery and admiration. No, I know people have that. And I know when I've truly, genuinely felt that from others. Anyways, not to ramble on about that, but yeah, I just thought, it would be really a good way to change our perspective or perception of how we looked at things out in the world, just change that, introspect that into using that same energy, but in a positive, more abundant way to bring something back into our lives, and hopefully we get some rewards out of it. Feel gratitude, feel gratitude for the universe actually reflecting or showing you a picture of something that perhaps is available to you. Maybe that is the universe showing you that, hey, you know what? Here's a picture of something you might want in your life. And maybe that's in your soul's blueprint or something, and you just forgot that that's within you. And the universe is probably reflecting someone else's life to you, saying, here's something that, that your soul is resonating with, and maybe you could use that and create that for yourself. I don't know. I don't know where that just came from, but that's just what came to mind. And yeah, I thought I'd share it. I know I wanted to talk about modalities, and then I end up channeling something different. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll go with it. So I think I've gone over quite a bit here, more time than I wanted to spend on this video. It is quite late, and I have to get to bed because I need to rest for work. But I do hope that made some sort of a difference. If it made sense to you, I hope you can use some of what I shared today for yourselves. But yep, the journey continues. And oh my God, I did want to share one more thing. I had a specific dream. I don't know, but I've never actually disclosed this here, but I resonate a lot with my dreams. I find a lot of significant messages in my dreams as well. But I had this dream about a week ago. I think it was maybe at the beginning of the month. And in my dream, it said I heard First Corinthians. Did I pronounce that correctly? I think I did. And then, so that was the last thing I heard before waking up. And then I woke up and it kept ringing in my head. So I went online, obviously, and I typed it in. And the first verse that came up was it was chapter 6. Sorry, not verse. Chapter 6. And it talked about judging. And that's probably where I've been focused a lot recently in judging. And one thing that specifically resonated with me was, I don't know if it was verse 5, because I don't have it in front of me right now, but basically what it said was, when you have a conflict with somebody in your life and you're using judgment against them, think carefully. And it asked a specific question, and it talks a lot. It kind of applies a lot to me in my life and some of the situations in my life right now, where a specific message came through that dream for me, and I know it did. It said, why do you look to the judges outside your laws, basically like your courts and your police or whatever, to bring peace within your relations with others, instead of going to a place of God or going to a place of worship? And that hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. My God, guys, like I'm not talking smack here. I'm not talking shit. I got that message in my head in my dream, the last thing I dreamt about. I didn't see anything. I just heard it in my head. And it says First Corinthians. And I typed it in while I was having my coffee, and chapter 6 came up, and that I read the whole chapter, all the verses.